Right, so hi, my name is Mr. Slate. Like I said, I'm a solo indie game dev. I've been working on this game for very, very many years, probably about 3.5. And it's out now on Android and iOS, and I decided to do a little stream to celebrate the, well, it's going half price tonight at midnight. So I figured I'd do a quick stream. So yeah, hello everyone watching later. Right, so MoonWard is an action RPG. It's made for mobile. I've always wanted to make an action RPG or something of that sort. So I had an opportunity a couple of years ago, and I decided to do that. It's been a fun journey, fun few years, but like I said, it's out now. So a couple of disclaimers. I'm going to be using a controller. So I'm using a controller to move the cursor right now, because on PC it's just easier, and it avoids me having to lean over. It just makes it more comfortable. The game is, like I said, for mobile, but it supports controller perfectly fine. I should say on Android. On iOS, it doesn't really. I need to add that. That's something that I need to work on. In fact, I am working on it. I just need to finish it, basically. There's some issues. So the game is on Android and iOS. It's on the App Store. It's called MoonWard, if you're interested. But anyway, let me get into it. I'm just going to create a new character. Basically, there are two ways to make a character. One is through sort of a quick menu. We have a few options. These are pre-made characters. You can generate the name for them, but that's about it. Or you can make a completely custom character in this menu. So, you know what? I'm not entirely sure what character I want to play, so let's just pick the name I like. Yeah, Raisin. I like that. And let's just randomize a character. Human Acolyte. Let's see, what does Acolyte give us? Mind over body. It's a bunch of resistances, and they get a healing potion at the start. And a Sentinel class is essentially like the Paladin class for this game. Sort of a faith-based character. I'm gonna go with something a little bit different. I'm gonna go with a Prowler. Prowler is sort of a sneaks. It's basically your sort of thief character style class. Oh, sorry. Click back. So your class determines your attributes, your abilities, I should say. They all do something, and your background determines. It gives you a trait, gives you gold, your renown, rating. Useful is a pretty good one. It's pretty high actually, so I should get quite a lot. This is your renown as well. This is where you stand in the grand scheme of the rating. And this is the gold you start with. This is sort of useless eventually. It becomes kind of useless eventually because obviously you make money doing jobs, but yeah. You also start with traits. Your race determines your traits. So if I just cycle through, you see different races have different traits. Go back to human. Actually, I like this one. And yeah, essentially, I'm gonna make a sneaky character. Actually, I don't want human. Let's do something else. Let's do something more fun. Let's do orc. What they get is a stagger critical, which is a mechanic in the game. It's actually quite high. And they get some resistances, which is always nice. This isn't, you know, the most synergized character, but we'll see how it goes. Also, your class gives you your equipment. So, because I'm a Prowler, I get sneaky shoes and sneaky gloves. And some other light armor. And some light weapons as well. Daggers are actually quite good at parrying. So basically, not parrying, riposte. That's the type of critical damage you can do. And axes are, I mean, this axe is just generally okay. It's better damage, so we'll see. Maybe I'll put this one. Anyway, let's start. So this intro is actually the original trailer.
You know, I was like you once. Tired and angry and bored out of
the
my
trailer
mind.
Was basically the intro for the game.
It's hard to come by, isn't it?
The other way around.
What if I told you life can be better, full of adventure, and all the gold you want? Yes, you can all
Funny
be
story,
well-dressed,
I actually
well-fed,
got my
and
partner to
well-paid.
narrate this, so that's her. She
Yes,
hates
my friend,
hearing herself.
you too can enjoy the good life. The life of a MoonWard.
So I'm actually working on an extended intro. It's not done yet. Hopefully it'll be done soon. TM. So in the game you play as a mercenary. You join the mercenary company called MoonWard. You're generally speaking just doing odd bits, jobs as the story progresses. You being a mercenary is essentially just a way for you to, you know, in the beginning it's just a way for you to like make ends meet. There is actually a deeper lore reason why you're not doing something to do with your past experiences. Like you said, like you saw, there are backgrounds, classes, etc. Those all have some kind of lore, some sort of lore reason behind them. However, there is another reason why you're doing this, and the new intro actually explains that much better. Essentially, you sort of you sort of touch this magical object, and it kind of it gives you this curse, which is supposed to, by all means, everyone knows this in the world, it's supposed to turn you into a mindless creature, basically a zombie. And we'll see some of them later, some of those creatures, what people have actually turned into. But for some reason you don't turn into them. And that's kind of the reason why you're on this journey. You essentially leave your old life and go on this adventure to figure out why this is happening. But because there's always a threat of you becoming, you know, a violent monster, you don't want to be around your family and friends. So that's why you run away, essentially. So we'll just go through the first couple of stories quickly. Just the first adventure, just so I can show you what the combat is like, because the combat's quite a big part of this. Narrative and combat are the biggest elements of this game. So essentially, this is an introduction. This is your, you know, people are, your colleagues are greeting you essentially. This person Maxell, he lives in he is the barkeep, so you know, it made sense that he would be the first one you speak with. There's a bit of a sarky edge to the game. Narrative has choices. This one specifically isn't as important, obviously. I'm just going to pick it. And some choices give you bonuses. This one specifically gave you experience points. You can also go through these much faster. And this is actually one of the first important checks. As you can see, you actually pass it because you have high enough speech. And this check is basically to get some entry-level gear. If you feel like you need it, you generally speaking don't need it, but it's also kind of a funny interaction where it's kind of like a very corporate thing where it's like quite nice, but as soon as you start getting free stuff from them, they're like, oh, we don't like it anymore. So anyway. And of course she forgets your name immediately. Let me just get through this. There is quite a long narrative. The game is about, the main story is about 5-6 hours of narrative and quite difficult fights. There's a few boss fights in there as well. And this shows you what you've earned. Like I said, this is your gear. This item is actually quite good. I wanted to give players something good to begin with if they wanted a different play style. So for example, this character starts with a with a dagger that doesn't do a lot of damage but does a lot of critical damage, and a hatchet which does more damage. So essentially, actually, let's take this off. Let's take this off. Let's see what moves this item actually has, because every move in this game. So basically, I'm using the Souls-like move system essentially, where every item has an amount of different moves. This specific item, when it's in the main hand, when it's held in your main hand, it gives you a light attack, a heavy attack, and a kick. That's, generally speaking, that's every single weapon will give you that. And when it's in offhand, it gives you a weak block. Actually, that's not that weak. That's pretty good. It gives you a parry move, which is quite nice. And it gives you a dodge move as well. And there's a special when you're two-handing weapons as well. So what you can do is, let's just equip something. Actually, let's just equip this. Yeah, let's equip it in the offhand so we can parry, and then we can have this in the main hand so we can attack with it. Essentially what you can do is you can two-hand, and you got a little pop-up here. Basically every element in the UI you can click on or tap on to tell you what's happening. Don't have any valuables right now, should have a round blue pebble. This is to do with your backstory. Basically this is how when you get given the curse, you wake up with this item in your hand, and for some reason it feels a part of you. It doesn't feel like you want to let it go. Let's see what else we got. Some healing items from the first mission. I'm gonna leave this in because it's quite powerful. That basically heal all of our health points, almost all of them. You have, let's start with this one. These are your traits. You have obviously your character portrait, and you have your abilities down here. You get ability points every time you level up. You can see what kind of character you are here. This is shiny because every county basically has a rating system, and they all start with your basic rating, the one that you picked at the beginning, the one that comes with your background. But if you dig into it, you can actually see this. Every time you complete a mission, this will go up or down, and at these thresholds, you will get different bonuses. So that's the renown system. And then there's the stat sheet. This is mostly where you're going to spend your time when you're in this menu, because you see when you level up, you'll get ability points. When you click on them, when you increase or decrease them in this menu, numbers here will change. So we'll get to that in a second. Right. So next I'm going to show you the training tutorial. So basically there is a fairly involved battle tutorial. And that is because the game is... We'll see the combat. You'll see why. This is essentially your trainer, Rowan. And he's going to teach you how to do combat. Because I've already got a character here, I can skip this training tutorial, but I'm just going to do it because of you guys. I want to show you how it works. So combat starts with barks. Essentially every character has, or every type of character has unique barks. Different, for example, an animal is just going to actually bark at you, whereas a bandit might be quite cocky, and then a boss will be just like, "What are you? Who are you? You're nothing." So this is my in combat dialogue system. Essentially, the way it works is these are non-interactive. You can just progress through it. There is the interactive narrative, but in combat I decided not to do that. Maybe I can change that eventually. We'll see. So he's going to teach you how to do the basic moves. That's what he was talking about. Right, so combat, the way it works. The red panels, so yeah, I realize this is quite different. Yellow is your stamina, red bars are health. This is your equipped weapon, your equipped item in your main hand, equipped item in the offhand, and then mirrored on the other side. You can also two-hand from here, which means that you hold your main weapon with two hands, which gives you more damage. Or for ranged weapons, it actually reloads them faster. And then you have the categories. You have the offensive, the defensive, and the tool belt. The tool belt right now is disabled, but the offensive and offensive categories essentially are just 3 buttons that correspond to the moves that the weapon can do or the item can do. And so I'm gonna stop using the mouse here because I can just use the right trigger and use X to progress these. In fact, I can hide this. This is more useful for other situations because you just want to progress through this tutorial. So in this case, I do have to click it. When you're using your hands, obviously you're holding it, and your thumbs are going to be over the buttons, so it's actually a little bit faster. Honestly, the way I've designed this system, the fastest way to play it would be to literally use your hands on your phone. However, it does work very well with the controller because all of the controls, if you haven't noticed already, are mapped literally to the Dark Souls 1 control scheme. So if you already have the muscle memory, you'll be very good at this. So I'm holding to block. He asked me to block. When you block, if your shield is stronger, then you can stagger them. So essentially the way it works is if your shield is sturdier, not stronger. So if you have a massive shield and they have a light weapon, then they'll get staggered, for example. And the other way around. If you have a light shield and they have a big weapon, you will be the one that gets staggered. Right, so he wants to show me dodging. So this works the same way as it works in Souls-likes. You get invulnerability frames, and the invulnerability frames are... Actually, I'll click on... Oh, he's asking me to do it. It's fine, he can keep hitting me. There is actually a quick guide over here. If you click on one of the avatars, you actually pause the fight, and then you get this, and this tells you what all of the slices mean. So, for example, purple or pinkish purple is invulnerability. Light green is where you can parry someone. I'll show you parries in a sec. This is the sort of the wind down state, which essentially means that It's the moment that the sword that the hit's already connected, and you're just going back to like idle essentially. If you imagine these as animations, that's what that means. So just I'm gonna let him hit a few times. Basically, the blue part is your wind up. So this is the most vulnerable part. So if I kick him during that part, he's actually going to get staggered much easier. This part doesn't really have an effect. Then the green part, if you land a parry in that part, is when they'll get parried. Every time the white arrow hits the sword or one of the other hands, clock hands, something happens. The green sword is damage. There is a blue baton. There's a purple arrow. That means that's where thrown weapons or ranged weapons in general shoot the projectile, or the projectile goes out. And blue is for consumables, parry, kick, effects in general. It's the effect arrow, hand is what I call them. So essentially, I'm abstracting combat in a way where instead of seeing an animation, you see the animation broken down as a wheel. And it works exactly the same way. The only thing that this is missing is the obviously the dimensions, the second, third dimension. The way it works is you can't really go around them, so you're locked. So this is actually kind of a mix between a fighting game and Souls-like, where in a fighting game you're always locked against each other. So let's see what he wants me to do. He wants me to dodge. So when a hit lands in the purple slice, purple is invulnerability. So if a hit was to land in the purple slice of your clock, it will just do no damage to you. You'll just ignore it. And the abstraction is that you dodge. And I'll do it again just to show you. So when his arrow hits the hand, if my arrow is in the purple, then I'll dodge. It's simple as that. It's actually much simpler than it looks. It's much simpler than people think. The combat system is actually like, basically the same thing as a Souls game. Souls 1 specifically, that's my favorite one. So I'm going to dodge one more time. And he's going to be impressed with me. And then he's going to ask me if I wanted to train parrying, and I'll say yes. And he'll say excellent choice. This is one of those interactive sections where you actually have to think a little bit, because the exit of the tutorial is essentially turned on at this point. But if you click up, it will open the dialogue again. So he's going to say some stuff about parrying and riposte. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attack him with a light attack, and he's going to parry me. And the way a parry works is kind of the same as an attack, except that you need to hit them in a specific part of their clock. So essentially the moves run in parallel. The system is real time. Things will happen in parallel. Things will happen at the same time. It is fully real time. So it's a timing based combat system. So when I attack, you're going to see him start his parry at a specific time. That's specifically timed, so his arrow hits the hand over, I think it's over here, the blue hand, which is the parry hand. So, and that will happen while my arrow is in the green slice, which is over here. You see? So this is where I parry him. And let's see how fast my parry is. Yeah, I got it the first time. Okay, so that is essentially the combat system. There are a lot more mechanics in it, and if you miss it, you just get hit because you just haven't done anything to stop them. So yeah, like I said, this is essentially the combat system in a nutshell. There are a lot more depth to it. The different slices do different interactions. There are different moves that do different things. There are moves that will stagger and then hit, etc., etc. But we'll get to those in a sec. Speaking of, he's going to ask me to do a parry and then a riposte. So a parry is where you stop their attack and leave them vulnerable, and a riposte is when you actually attack them. Riposte is a light attack. So, sorry, I missed that. So, essentially, all I have to do now is do a light attack. There you go. And you do extra critical damage. So, he's going to say, good job, blah, blah, blah. Now, I want to show you the pause menu. So, by the way, this is a debug option because I'm running in debug mode just in case something does happen. This is basically an auto win button. This is not in the final game. This is not in the actual thing you purchase. This is just for myself. So, the pause menu comes with all of the combat tutorials. What I mean by that is, you go all the way from the actual pause menu, what it does, to what the health bars are, to the clocks, what they are, arrows, hands, all of that, to the move categories, there are 3 of them. Then the move stages, so essentially the slices. This is the wind-up stage, for example. This is the wind-down stage, the dark green. And you also get some videos. For example, the block video. A lot of people get confused that you need to tap. It is in fact hold. You hold to block. When you block, you generally take less damage, or you at the expense of some stamina. Then there's parry and riposte. Essentially, they're already parried. This is just riposte. So this is the second part. This is the parry basics. So this is how you parry. So I'm actually... this is just a free play. This is just... you can just test your moves after the training is actually done. So I'm going to exit this. We're going to finish the story, and I'm going to show you... you can actually access this training from everywhere at any point. Well, from the map at any point. I'm just going to finish this. There is a journal system where you get notes. I'll show you in a sec as well. So essentially, you can train against the dummy, which the dummy doesn't do anything. You can just test your moves. In fact, let's do that now. Yeah. It still barks. So, I pressed Y to two-hand, which is the thing, which is just how Souls-likes are mapped anyway. So every single weapon is going to have a light and a heavy attack, and usually a kick. I don't think you can stagger the dummy, which makes sense. Every move uses stamina. And so depending on which hand the item is, it's either going to give you its offensive moves or its defensive moves. And you have your belt, which, not that one, which with a controller you can access like this. In training, you don't use your consumables, so you can figure out what they do, figure out the timings. Some of these, it's quite important to know the timings because there are thrown consumables that are damaging. Sort of like throwing knives and stuff like that. What else? Yeah, I think that's basically all the training. So yeah, that's how combat operates. I've had a lot of people be confused by it, but honestly, it's really not that complicated. So you just need to... It's just a matter of understanding that the clocks and the slices just represent moves. They just represent the character doing something. The reason why I did it like this is because, well, long story. It's a combination of I wanted this game to run for everyone. Like this runs on a potato. I've optimized the hell out of it. I'm very happy with the optimization that I've done. It runs on a phone from like 2018, 2016, I want to say. Extremely old. So that was one of the reasons, was I wanted to make sure that it runs on everyone can play this. And the other reason was to do a complicated animation system and all of that stuff, which I have done. The systems exist, but it requires quite a lot of assets, and I didn't have the funding to actually do anything like that. Because if you think about it, I'm using a Diablo-style system as well, so I would have to dress the characters, then do all the animations, etc. It is quite a lot of money that I just don't have access to. So because of those two, I decided to abstract it. I'm still quite happy with it, but if I was to make a sequel, I probably would have a character, just because it would make things much easier, but the characters wouldn't actually interact. They would just mimic the moves. I think. Maybe not. We'll see. Of course I want a sequel. I'm a game dev. So this is the first combat mission. Essentially, they've sent you to... I wasn't good enough to pass that check. They've sent you to someone's tavern, and they have like pests in the basement. This is intentional. I just wanted to have that mission where you kill rats in the basement, except there are no rats in this world. They're like sort of like cat-sized lizards that are actually really cute. And also there's no like killing in the game if you don't want it to be. Oh, I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna try and kick him. Ah, too fast for me. I might have to just spam. I meant to. All right, let's see if I block. Let's see what happens if I block. Oh, well, that's what happens if I block. I get hit with a stagger attack. Oh no! All right, let's. Okay. Oh no! He's got a very strong defense. He's pretty meaty, actually. Oh no! Oh no! Can I dodge in time? Yes, I can. Let's see if I can do a backstab. No, I can't. Alright, I'm gonna need to use a potion. Oh no! Keeps doing that. So I actually updated the AI on these guys. Oh, he just improved his defense. He just buffed himself. Oh, at least he doesn't hit too hard. Oh, there you go. If you kick him in the blue area, if I manage to do that without him like dodging. Oh, I buffed their AI, so it's quite difficult now. But I also nerfed the first bounty types, so I'll show you that in a sec. I just want to show you the leveling up. So when you level up, you get an ability point. In this case, you got a few ability points because the first few missions actually give you some for free. Just to give players an ability to like play around a little bit. So when you get those points, you can then put them into different abilities. So this character already has quite a lot of stamina, and they don't really need a very high carry capacity, but they... Oh yeah, you can click on that. But they do need more damage. And so certain weapons scale with certain abilities. So our main weapon right now is a dagger. So dexterity is going to be the stat that it levels up with better. And so we're just going to bump up dexterity quite a lot, I think is what I'm going to do. Just so we can do just a little bit more damage. There is basically a panel where it shows you what it scales with. This one specifically, their requirements. This one specifically scales A rating with dexterity, which is why it was getting so much more damage. This one does over 300 riposte, so that's quite good. Unfortunately, riposte is not unfortunately. Essentially, different kinds of the different kinds of enemies have different AI, and some of them they have different moves. Pretty much every character has a different move set. Bandits you can riposte, like these guys, the Raiders. The Raiders are the weakest bandit faction, essentially. They are not very good. And they usually dwell in like places like abandoned mines. The backgrounds are procedurally generated from a few images. There's essentially a forefront, a background, and a dwelling type. In this case, it's a mine, abandoned mine, and then there's a sky as well. And those are semi-randomized. They're not quite completely random. So this is your bounty screen. You have a little bit of lore, essentially, just to tell you what the story is, what the mission is, what are you actually doing, and then you have like your items over here that you're likely to get. You're less likely to get some items and more likely to get others. There are weightings here. So even though it says 3 out of 8, that doesn't mean that you're going to get the first 3. You'll get a random set of these. You can also click on the enemy. It tells you what they are. It tells you what race they are, what their enemy type is, and what their infamy is. And you can actually click on these, but it doesn't give you too much. Although, if you know the keywords, like serene, I guess we might find out what that means. I don't remember exactly what that means, but the keywords actually tell you what the bonuses are of the items. When you get the item, it actually shows you. So let's fight this guy. One of the more important things when you start a fight is figuring out what their moveset's going to be like. So essentially, to do that, you can click on their. Oh wow! Okay, that's a really high level double axe. Even though it's level 4, it's rare, which means it has a lot of bonuses. So he might actually even do fire damage or something to us. We'll see. But this is a versatile weapon, which means that it's going to have slower moves than mine, and I'm probably going to be able to parry it quite easily. And then this is the better part. Oh, this is rare as well. Okay, I need to look into these. Inner Flame. They're both flame based. That's funny. So this is a light shield, which means that kicking will have a kicking it. If we get the enemy to block, kicking them in the block state has a higher chance of actually destabilizing them, even with one kick. Let's dodge this. Let's try and parry that one. See how much damage. That's a good amount of damage. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you the stagger mechanic. There you go. So basically, if you kick them while they're in the blue zone, while their arrow is in the blue area, that'll stagger them, and I'll show you the back stab as well. So if you dodge and your dodge ends in the green area, that guarantees you a backstab. Oop. Mispressed. I pressed the wrong button. Right, so you got 3 items of loot, and they are basically like you get a light shield. Someone's screaming outside. There's hand armor, so like just gloves, and then you got a consumable, which is a throwable consumable, and because the strength is over our strength, basically we don't hit the requirements, which means that we're probably not gonna do like as much. We're not gonna do 240 base damage probably. So even consumables have requirements, and because we started with the basically stealth character, our strength is quite weak. So maybe I'll bump that up. But let's do one more of these missions, and I realize I promised key codes, and I haven't actually done any. So I'm gonna do like 5 of them in one go, just because I forgot, and it's halfway already. So let's just finish this mission, and I'll do quite a lot of them. So it turns out that it wasn't actually Gekken. Gekken is the little lizard guy. It was actually spiders, and the spiders are what's driving the Gekken. So it's kind of a what's the word? Sort of it's not quite what it looked like. Oof. Oh no. Don't poison me. Oh no, this one's not the one that poisons. Oh, I managed to get a backstab. That's quite good. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dodge this one, and I'm gonna try and kick the next attack. So basically oh no, come on. I get punished all the time with this thing. Alright, let's see. Yeah, backstab. Alright. So essentially most enemies will do attacks in combos. They usually have a 2 or 3 combo moveset. So essentially they'll go light attack, heavy attack, or something like that, something to that extent. And every enemy type, let's talk about the spider. It's big. The big spiders. The spiders of unusual size. So essentially, if you're having trouble with some certain enemies, it makes sense to fight them, to try and fight them more, and sort of dodge their attacks as much as you can, so you can sort of get an idea of what their moveset is. In fact, I was doing that instinctually without even thinking. That's why I kept dodging in the beginning of the fight, because I wanted to figure out what the enemy's pattern is, essentially. So, yeah. So this guy, turns out, used to be an adventurer like us. No, I'm not doing the meme, but essentially he used to be a caravan guard, so he knows quite a lot of dodgy people. And so he gives you sort of like a piece of paper with a mark on it. And when you show that mark to certain people, certain stores that are perfectly legitimate stores, they'll open up extra inventory. Now, that doesn't actually work that way in the game. What it actually does in the game is it unlocks the gray market, which is your generic market. So it actually just opens the market. The idea is that weapons wouldn't be sold everywhere. So especially magical weapons like this one. So that's why you needed that. It was just a reason basically to delay opening the market to players, so I don't overwhelm people with too many things. That's why this was grayed out to begin with, just so you can have less things to worry about at the very start of the game. Wow, that strength is really hurting me, I guess. And because I'm very low level, I'm not really getting a lot of items in here. But I could get a straw hat or a hood. Let's get the hood. Yeah, we've got some gold. It's down here, and this tells you the items you've selected, the price of the item you've selected. So essentially, this is 16, this is 14. When you click twice, when something's highlighted and you click on it, you buy it. There is a very in fact, I'll turn it on. There is a very extensive pop-up system. There's quite a lot of stats in the settings as well. So there is quite an extensive pop-up system that I've disabled right now. But I'm going to turn all of them on, just so you can see. As you can see, there's quite a lot of them. I think I'm missing a couple as well, so I need to add those in future updates. Essentially what that does is, so now if I click on this, it'll give me a pop-up. Do you want to buy this? And these pop-ups can also be disabled. So I'll just disable it, and then I'll say no because I don't actually want that item. Up here are the types of items. You can also swipe on phone, obviously, to move things around. I don't think I want... This is sort of a ultra light. Actually, that's not even... Yeah, that's essentially ultra light armor. It's not really armor, it's just clothes, basically. Backstab critical, that's quite good, so I'm gonna keep that. But you can see there's already some items that are magical. There's a rarity is the way I... so this one specifically is common. There's mundane, common, rare, and so on and so forth. Basically, all rings are common because they all have at least one bonus. But for example, this one's going to be mundane because it doesn't have any bonuses. It just has the base stats. Every item has a little bit of lore as well, and they all have resistances. This one specifically has a high burn resistance, but very low shock resistance because it's made of metal. Let's see, what else? What other item do I not have? Oh no, I'm not giving away my sneaks. Also, you can lock items if you don't want to sell them in bulk. There is the buttons down here sell in bulk. This one sells all of your valuables, which, let's see how many valuables I have and what they are. I only have 2, and they're both just to be sold. They're non-interactable. There are valuables that you can interact with, like books. So, for example, you can buy. This is actually a new book. This is a book of myths. That's to do with the summer event, which is going to be in the summer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some water, or actually, should I buy some wine or water? Water's cheaper, and I don't have a lot of money. Let's buy 5 of these. So, what water does is it increases your stamina regeneration, which early on in the game is probably the most important thing you can have until you have enough stamina, or you're bulky enough for your build to sort of get activated. So I'm actually going to put a little bit of strength because I still get some damage back, and also I'm just too weak right now. Right, the other thing I'm going to do is, that I completely forgot about, is I'm going to post some codes in the chat. This is also going to be on VOD. It's going to be on the Slate Games channel, where I'm going to... there's a pop-up. It's paused. This is going to be on the VOD. So it's going to be... the codes are going to be in the description. Right. Let's see. Let's take 3. So these first 3 are from the App Store. So that's for iOS. Actually, we'll do 4. We'll do 2 for the 2 for iOS. This is for the App Store. So this is the first one. It's in the chat. and this is the second one. Also in the chat. These are both for the App Store, and then for Android. Let's see. So this is for the Play Store. Here's one. And here's two. Have fun with the codes. I just want more people to play my game, really. Games, in general. I have other games. I need to do a stream of Giant Steps. That'd be fun. Although it'll be a lot of clacking, keyboard clacking, and because that game is like, you can run that game faster than you think. Which is a bad thing. It's a roguelike, so you don't want to run it faster than you think, but you can. It's really, anyway, it's very one more move kind of. Right. Right. So the stream was gonna go for an hour and a half. I started a little bit late, but I'm probably gonna end around 9. So there's a main story that's gonna continue here. Actually, let's do this one. So essentially, Luonar are the beings that are touched by this curse. So you are a Luonar, although you might not realize it yet. Although, no, you do realize it. That's kind of the key. You do realize you're a Luonar. And Thrall is what you think you're going to turn into. They're sort of mindless zombies, mindless husks. And they're actually kind of difficult fights. So I have a feeling a lot of people will get this fight fine. Let's disable this. Heavier builds will get this fight through this fight much easier than lighter builds like mine. Not having a shield, a medium shield for this fight is quite bad. Yeah. So yeah, this is what these creatures look like. Essentially, they grow crystals all over their body, and they just kind of become emaciated. Zombies. They're essentially crystal zombies. Is the easiest way I can. And my character promptly screams. Right, I was trying to kick there. There you go, like that. Stagger is your friend, and you can do quite a lot of attacks while they're staggered. The thing about Luonar enemies is they always heal. And it's gonna keep healing. So basically I need to take him down to... Oof. Okay, I need to do more damage. Gotta be more aggressive. Be aggressive. Yeah, so they're quite fast. They heal a lot. It gets even... Yeah, bosses are even stronger than this. There are Luonar bosses, and they are the strongest bosses. They're essentially the equivalent to human enemies in Souls games, where you meet Havel for the first time and you're like, what is this? Oh, there's some interesting stuff here. There's a little bit of light surgery you do. Essentially, you find that this creature has an amulet around its neck, and you're trying to grab it. I'm just going to skip this because it's actually quite plot heavy, so I'm actually going to skip it. But yeah, essentially, you get an amulet that was around its neck. Its mirror lyric is what it says on the amulet. It's a quite difficult creature to fight if you're a light character. If you're a heavy character, that's not as much. So this is one of the valuables that I was talking about that are interactable. So with this one, I'll show you in the menu. you can consume it. It's essentially a consumable. Let's put one more point in strength. Am I gonna get a point? Yeah, point of damage as well. Right. Yeah. So it's a valuable, but it's in your inventory and you can consume it. There's quite a lot of lore basically on every item, and it gives you 1 point, 1 ability point of each. These are very rare and very powerful items, so they also can't be sold because they're contraband, which is quite important because I realized very early on that, well, I have a button that sells everything. So I probably don't want that. Or rather, I probably want a way to make items not be sellable. So actually, I want to check. This is 0.6. This is very light. I might just get... Yeah, so you can buy and equip as well. This is what this button does. Oh, and you can also sell based on rarity. So this is what that does. But essentially, this makes me lighter. Although I don't think it actually matters that much, but should be alright for now. But it also gives me a better block, which is nice. So instead of continuing with the main story, oops, sorry, it's a bit, ooh, that's quite fast. Let me lower the controller settings. So that's the right stick. Let's lower that a little bit. That's still quite fast. I might have to lower it quite a bit. The problem with different controllers is that they all have sort of different settings, so this is now quite slow. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So there's a bear. So I'm just going to do some side missions for the rest of the time because I don't want to give away too much of the main story, but the story is in the demo. There is a free demo. I forgot to mention. There is a free demo for Android. You can absolutely go and download it. If you go to our website, I'm not going to say the website. It's on all of our social media, including on Twitch. If you go to our website, there's a MoonWard page. Click the MoonWard page. There's a link to the demo on Android, to the full Android version, full iOS version. So every version's on there, including our Patreon. Not going to show that. I wish I had more time to post on Patreon and do some cool stuff with it, but I don't. So unfortunately, it's mostly just the same information that's everywhere else. It's just a little bit more compact. So there is a free tier. So if you wanna find out information about the stuff that I'm working on all the time, signing up for Patreon is probably the best bet. You can sign up for free. Unfortunately, I don't do that much on Patreon. I really want to. But anyway, going back, the rest of the main story in the first county is actually for free on the demo. In fact, the first fifth of the game is for free on the demo, and actually more than that too, because there's side stories as well in the second county. Out of 5, there's 5 counties in the game, and so I'm not really spoiling that much because it is for free out there, but it's still spoilers. So instead I'm going to do some side missions and then I'm going to call it a night. So basically you have your main stories, which are blue, and you have your side stories, which are green, and then you have your bounties, which are yellow. Hexes, those are hexes colors on the map. She introduces herself. We introduce ourselves, and then you attempt to sneak to the creature. So essentially, we're in the cave right now, and our agility is quite high. So we're just gonna walk around and collect some loot while we're in the cave. Something shimmering, blah blah blah, etc., etc. I know an amulet doesn't seem like a big reward, but legitimately they are quite expensive. They have like a multiplier on how much they cost. So chances are at this point you will not have an amulet. So this is actually a big deal. Right, so bears. Apparently I can parry the one move they do, which I think kind of makes sense. And I can backstab them as well. Essentially, if I let myself get hit, in fact, bears do quite a lot of damage. But because I'm a really fast character, a bear is really not that big of a problem. The bigger problem are the fast-moving characters like the Thrall. So, as you can tell, certain characters are going to be a problem for your build, and certain are not. And one of the ways to offset that is your equipment, your consumables. For example, in this fight, if I was having trouble with this character, I could buy some throwing daggers and just dodge every attack and just throw daggers at them. In fact, that is a legitimate move set. That is a legitimate thing to do against like wolves, because they will dodge most attacks. In fact, I think they dodge daggers as well. So wolves are kind of tricky. In fact, they're quite tricky for a low-level enemy. So another thing that unlocks a little bit later is, so this is the journal. We've seen this. This is this menu, which is now unlocked. It used to be locked. Just very quickly, you can actually look into the completed tasks you've done. And you can, to the point where you can actually even look at all the dialogue. This is not interactive, but this is what you have picked. These are the options you have picked. So this is actually what was said in the conversations. You can see where it was, you can see the character as well, and you can see the missions, and every mission has its own button. So this is for stuff you've completed. I really wanted to have some kind of complete log of what you've said. Early on somebody mentioned that they wanted to see, they'd forgotten what a mission has said previously, so this is, I probably should signpost this better. I might do in the future, but I think this is extremely powerful, extremely nice to have. So this is your main page, this is your main story, this is your side stories in this panel, and then on the side you have your bounties, and you usually have about 8 bounties per area, and clicking on them doesn't open a menu, it opens a pop-up, because bounties can only be activated on the map. And we'll do that, we'll find a bounty. One of the things I want to do is I want to make it less likely to have a raider bounty in the very beginning of the game, because they tend to be quite easy. On the other hand, if you're a new player, you're probably needing this. The first 5 to 10 levels are quite fast, and raiders do slow down. There's less of them later on, and they only appear in the first county. So, oh, too slow, or actually too fast. All right, let's see. So you got a 3-hit, 3-hit combo. So let's try and stagger you. Actually, there you go. So essentially, if you know what their combo is going to be, it's quite easy. And they do have multiple combos. They don't just have one. Raiders, I think, only have 1 or 2. So raiders are actually quite easy to predict what they're doing. But even the next level of bandits are a lot more agile. They're a lot more cunning. The AI on raiders is specifically made for new players. So for the first few levels, you're going to be, if you've played the game already, for the first few levels it's going to be quite easy, but eventually you're going to start hitting enemies that are quite a lot more difficult. So Let's see what's in the shop. I do like... Ooh, Shock Affliction. I mean, it's a very strength-based weapon, so I don't really want to have that. Ooh, I do like these, though. These are specifically meant for parrying. And I think their block is maybe slightly better. No, this one's got better block. Alright, I'm just going to stick with the leather bound. But this is the kind of stuff, the kind of decisions that you can expect. Do I need to put that amulet? Essentially, what you... Backstab is good. Poison resistance is good. Yeah, this is not bad. What you equip on your character, what consumables you have, what weapons you have, you can essentially completely change your playstyle. In fact, let's just buy that. Excuse me. Let's buy that. Where was it? This one. This spear axe. It's essentially pole arm. Let's buy and equip that. Yeah, let's do that. And let's go to another bounty, and I'll just show you how different. Oh, another thing you can tell is looking at the items. So, in a game like Oblivion or Skyrim, you can see what an enemy has before you kill them. Bandits specifically. So, if they're wearing a certain type of armor, you can most likely just grab it off them when they're dead. Similar logic here. This character probably has this kind of axe. They're probably using this kind of weapon. And they're probably using... what's this? They're probably using light or medium armor. So they're probably not too beefy, but they're probably quite... they probably do a decent amount of damage. Oh, okay. They're two-handing as well. So they'll probably be... Yeah, they're quite slow. The moveset is quite slow. So... because this weapon had a shock element to it, you can apply debuffs to these guys. And unfortunately, these guys are actually quite easy to deal with, so... It's actually kind of difficult to show how different it is. And because I'm actually wearing very light items, I haven't even gone to the upper tier of weight. There are tiers. Black is fast dodge, green is normal, gold is slow, and then red, you just get staggered if you try to dodge. So, because I'm actually quite fast still, let's do this. That'll put me in the next tier, so now I'm actually not going to be able to dodge as much, but I'm going to be able to, but I'm still going to be able to, but I will have a better shield, so. So, I'm going to, let's see what happens when I block with this shield. Well, it didn't stagger me, but it's not as good. It still has a parry. Also, it has a different kind of parry, so it's slower. And also their weapon applies poison because I have a counter up here, so every time they hit me, I'm gonna have ooh, let's kick you. So yeah, if you can catch an enemy blocking, kick them. There you go, they're dead. If you catch an enemy blocking, kick them. And that will do bonus stagger damage and bonus stamina damage as well. So the only problem with kicks is that they're quite short, quite long moves, and you actually use up quite a lot of your stamina, so sometimes you'll be able to kick someone twice and then not have any stamina left to actually apply an attack, so you have to be strategic about it. Let's do more codes, because it's only 15 minutes left. We'll do a couple more codes. Let's do 4 more codes. Oh. Let's do 2 more. Let's do App Store codes. And then we'll do that. And then we'll do Play Store codes. And this. And then this. There you go. 4 more codes. There's 2 more left, and I'll do those at the very end of the stream. So we're caught up now. Good. That's what you want. And like I said, if you're watching the VOD, I'm going to put those in the description. Or maybe I'll put them during the video when I'm actually putting them in. We'll see. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. I'm not a streamer. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm making this up mostly as I go along. Let's continue this. So this is a stalker spider, and they give you another one of those valuables that you can actually consume. So I need to start using. Well, I do use them. They're in the loot table now. Actually, yeah, they're in the loot table now. Essentially, these mushrooms. There's 3 of them, and they give you strength, dexterity, and endurance. 1 point when consumed, or you can sell them, and they are extremely valuable. So yeah, there's that. Basically, this is a continuation of the bear mission where we got the amulet. She can't remember us. That's fine. We're not very memorable. So basically, here we have the option to essentially, because we succeeded this. One sec. Oh, right. Fair enough. Essentially, we succeeded with a skill check, which is or ability check, which is insight. So we can pick this option, which is just getting a map of the cave that we're going into. Oh god, long day today. We've got everything. We can now go in, and the beast spares no time and jumps at you with a shriek. Ah! It'll be very funny if it doesn't actually give me the... Nope, it didn't give me the bark where it actually screams. That's quite funny. Alright, let's see if this is venomous. Yep, this is venomous. I think the one at the beginning of the game. So, as you can see, I had much easier time with these spiders when I was a lighter build, because I could just dodge all of their attacks and backstab them. And all kinds of different stuff. And my attacks didn't get dodged as much, which they do now. So I'm actually not quite sure what I'm going to do. Let's try blocking. How about kicking? No, that doesn't work. How about kicking after... Oh, very fast, okay. How am I gonna... There you go. So, this is kind of a little I'm realizing, I'm remembering now how these work. So there's a trick to these guys. All right, let me just click on this. You see this first line, cancel with new move? Yeah, so in the blue area, you can actually cancel the move. So essentially, if you start a very long-winded attack and the enemy starts doing something, you can actually cancel it and just dodge. In fact, I'll do it in a sec. And the enemies can do that too. So what spiders do is, if you start attacking them, if they start an attack and you start attacking them or do some kind of move to interact with them while they're in the blue area of their move, they'll just change. If you start attacking them, or try to kick them, they will literally just like dodge at that point. So they'll dodge your move essentially. However, in that area that's not blue and it's not green, you can still kick them there. So the timing is different, and they have very low stamina, very low stagger resistance. So that's the key. That's the key to beating these guys, is not to kick them in the blue area, but to kick them in the one afterwards, because they have very low stagger resistance. So, and a kick always applies a certain amount. So they'll almost always get staggered when you do this. So that's the trick. And there's like little interactions like this throughout the game, basically just like subverting expectations, or making things much beefier than they should be. You got someone with a big shield. Well, no, actually I don't do that. If you get someone with a big shield, chances are if they block, you can still kick them and eventually stagger them. But certain enemies, like let's say dragons, there are dragons in the game. When they block, the implication is that they're blocking with like their tail or their giant wings or whatever. Doesn't matter how much you kick them, you're not gonna move them. It's like a rock. So you can't stagger those when they're blocking, or not very easily at least. You can stagger them in different ways. If you kick them while they're starting an attack, it still does apply stagger damage, but it's not as much. Essentially, they're beefier, they're sturdier. Let's put another point in strength. And let's actually go back to my light build, because I just prefer it. I just like my light builds. In fact, this is actually one of my failings, is that I do have preference. I do like certain builds better than others. Actually, you know, I will stick with the medium shield. And so I will sometimes, admittedly, for a little bit at least, neglect. Ooh, that's a nice axe. Nope, we're not buying another axe. I would admittedly sometimes neglect certain builds. Ooh, kite shield. Yeah, I see we're not strong enough those. Ooh, it's a nice kite shield too. Okay. Anyway, so we'll do the last mission of this arc. Sorry, the last adventure of this story. So the story is the arc, and then the adventure is this, the individual, you know, raid or bounty or whatever. So yeah, so this is an adventure, and all three of them are a story. That's the terminology I use in the game. So we'll finish this story, the last adventure of this story, and then I'm probably going to do maybe one more bounty, and then we'll call it a night. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to do. The other reason why I wanted to do this is because we do actually get a meaningful choice here. Because we managed to pass a check previously in the previous adventure of this story, we actually have the map. So we know, and because nobody else knows the cave that well, other than Drew, which is the character that we spoke to previously, we're speaking with somebody else now because Drew's actually in. She's actually gone in there and gotten sort of captured by a spider, or wounded, actually, is what it is. And so essentially what happens is, because we have a map, we can actually resolve this in a way that keeps Drew alive, as opposed to if we didn't pass that check in the previous story, she would die. Sorry, that's spoilers, but it'll happen in a sec. Drew's in there. Essentially, this is the default answer. This is the answer that we're going to get, which is, the positive answer. Essentially, this is you have an enthusiastic answer because you want to see Drew alive. You want to get in there as soon as possible. And this is basically your hint that, well, essentially there's no hint. Like, it will automatically, the game will automatically remember that you have the map, and so we'll just pick that. And you head to the familiar chamber, see Drew sitting against the wall, clutching a wound on her arm. So she's wounded, but she's not dead. You manage to find her, and she forgets a brooch, and you pick it up. You continue in the cave, and you find somebody else who you don't recognize. You find a body, essentially. And then, eventually, you reach the brood mother spider. Essentially, because this is the ending of the story, this is a sort of a big bad. It's essentially where all the spiders are coming from. You see, I can actually backstab now because I can actually fast roll. I want to try stagger. We can also dodge thrown attacks. In fact, this is the first time we've seen a thrown attack, but that is what they look like. In fact, I'll buy some throwing daggers in a sec, and we'll use those. I don't know why I'm trying to stagger this. You can't dodge thrown attacks. The way you dodge them is when the projectile hits the center of your clock. That's when the damage happens. So if you dodge at that time, you ignore the damage. Just like any other attack, it's just a little bit delayed, and they can actually do another attack while the thrown item, while the item is in the air. And because we managed to save her, we get this option, and we get a special reward for finishing the arc, and I'll show you in a sec. We got Drew's brooch, which is quite powerful. Actually, this is the first. I think it's potentially the first health regeneration item you get in the game, maybe even the first stamina regeneration you get in the game. And it gives you stagger and repose critical as well, which is really good. Generally speaking, stagger is the lowest damaging one, but the most generic one, like the one that pretty much every character will have. We don't really need to level up anymore. But I am going to show you the brooch. This is Drew's brooch. We have a little bit of lore. What else was there? There was something else I wanted to show, and I can't remember what it is now. Oh well. That's a nice axe. Anyway, this is basically... No, it's not even close to... Like, this is maybe about 20, 30... No, 20, 30. Probably about, I don't know, like 2 to 5% of the game. We haven't even gone too far in the main story at this point, and there are multiple side stories that also appear in this first county. I've been doing this much slower. If you're playing on your own, this will be much, much faster. Did my camera break? Oh, my camera's broken. Oh well, it's fine. It happens. Oh, video capture device. Why are you broken? By the way, I was gonna say goodnight anyway. Oh, there it is. It's come back now. I don't know what I did. I don't think I did anything. Anyway, I'm gonna do the last couple of codes. And like I said, those are gonna be on the VOD as well, so don't worry. And let's go with code. Let's grab it over here. And then we're going to do play store code. Wait, yes, okay. I got confused. Yeah, this is definitely the one. And I believe... Let's just... Okay, yeah, these are all unique, so I didn't double down on it. I didn't double any of these. I didn't unintentionally copy the wrong ones. Okay, good. Right, so, yeah, so, in a very nutshell, this is... Oh, I completely forgot about the map. Yeah, the whole time we were in a 3D environment. Oh well. I need to do more of these. So, yeah, this is MoonWard. If you're interested in it, there's a sale tomorrow, starting tomorrow, 50% off on the App Store and Play Store. If you have the codes, enjoy those. Please have fun. If you don't, if you think this is something that somebody else you know might like, please give them the code. Absolutely not an issue with that. Like I said, I just want more people to play these games. Just my games in general. So yeah, I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching this, if you did. And I'm gonna go now. Have a good evening or afternoon, whichever one it is, or morning. And like always, this is my catchphrase. Stay awesome. See you again.